Hello, and welcome to the Teacher Chris Learn by Play Piano series. This is lesson 4 in the series. Last week we started to work on the white keys, but then we also did Old MacDonald, which was just using the fingerings or the finger numbers. Now the thing is that we're not going to see any pieces any longer that only use just the finger numbers to tell you what to play on the piano. However, you will actually see those finger numbers in all of the music that you're going to be playing, especially at the very beginning of a piece of music. Thing is that we don't really know where to place our hands unless we look at the first note and get the note name or the letter, and then also the finger number. So let's look at the zoo to check that out. Now in the zoo, we have finger number 1 on C in the left hand to start with. And then if we look at the right hand, we'll see finger number 1 on C as well. That is thumbs on C. And of course, we do have the middle C position finger chart at the very, very top of the page there. But you will eventually get to the point where you're not seeing that finger chart any longer. And this is the indication of where to place your hands on the piano. I even see it in my music that I'm trying to learn to play that's a lot more advanced. So the reason why I waited to play the zoo is because this is going to be our last hand position in middle C position, and I wanted you to have a couple of weeks on middle C position. Middle C position is great because it spans over every single note on the piano as far as A through G is concerned. You are in the left hand going to be playing, let's circle them here, F, G, A, B, and C. And then in the right hand, you're going to be doing C, D, E, F, and G. You'll notice in the right hand, we have both an F and a G. Then also in the left hand, we also have an F and a G. So you're going to want to make sure that you know which hand to play when you see an F or you see a G. So if we play through this piece, it really just does every single letter name on the keyboard and underneath your fingers. And this is going to be one that I want you to play and say the letter names on. I'm not going to record the duet for this one. In fact, this is going to be treated as just a warm-up. So the only play along in this is just going to be this particular moment in the video where I play through the whole entire piece, saying the letter names out loud, and then of course the counts. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So it starts with the left hand. We have left hand thumb on C, right hand thumb on C in middle C position. And 1, 2, ready, play. C, B, A, G, F, G, A, B. Then the right hand takes over with a C, D, E, F, and then G, 2, 3, 4. Continue with the right hand. C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D. Switches to the left hand. C, B, A, B, C, 2, 3, 4. Then repeat. C, B, A, G, F, G, A, B, right hand, C, D, E, F, G, 2, 3, 4. Then it's C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, left hand, C, B, A, B, C, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and by the way, if you want to draw a red circle around the right-hand parts and a blue circle around the left-hand parts, like I said in the last video, it's a very helpful tool to be able to distinguish between the two. They do have an RH and an LH for each hand, but this kind of makes it pop out a little bit. And it's not cheating at all to do that, so go for it. Before we go any further, let's pause and practice the zoo. Run through the letter names and say them out loud while you're playing it. And just try it a couple of times, and I'll see you in a minute. The last thing to look at here is mezzo forte. That blue box up at the top of the page there has a new dynamic sign. So MF stands for mezzo forte, or moderately or medium loud. It's not too loud, not too soft. A lot of my students ask me, what is forte and what is piano, as far as how loud am I supposed to be and how soft I'm supposed to be? Well, there isn't any really good answer, because it's really up to the performer how loud and how soft they're going to get. But I always tell my students to think of it like forte being when you're in a crowded room talking above everyone else and being able to talk to somebody that's sitting right next to you and just talking a little bit louder with your voice so they can hear you. And then with piano, it's more like being in a quiet room and just using your quiet voice when you talk to people. You're not going to be whispering just yet. You're just talking to them in a very small voice, a very quiet voice, but still you can hear the voice talking. There is going to be actually more extremes of fortissimo and pianissimo, which are the two louder and softer dynamic markings that you'll be seeing in the future. But with mezzo forte, I tell people to think of it as a normal speaking voice. You're not talking above a crowded room. You're not whispering to somebody. It's just a nice, normal talking voice, and that's about how loud you want to play it. So forte is talking above a whole crowded room full of people talking. Piano is just talking very quietly to somebody else. And then mezzo forte is just a nice, normal talking voice. Let's move ahead to page 33. We have plain C position. Now, this is going to be the second warm-up that you do this week. You're going to have two warm-ups. The right hand is going to be in the C position we've always been in. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4 C's up from the bottom here. And let's place our thumb on that note. C, D, E, F, and G are going to be under each finger. Now, in the left hand, what we're going to do is we're going to find the third C from the bottom, or actually just the next C down from the right hand. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3 C's right here. If I were to line up my hand right here, you'll see here's a C in the right hand. Go ahead and play it yourself. And then in the left hand, the C is going to be under finger number 5, or the pinky. Let's try that one out. Let's play them both at the same time now. See if you can do that. So we have pinky here, thumb there, or 5 and 1. There we go. Now, what's nice about this hand position is the right hand has C, D, E, F, and G, C, D, E, F, and G. And also in the left hand, we have C, D, E, F, and then also G. And this week, you're going to play and say the letter names. This will be another one-time perfect kind of scenario as far as a warm-up goes. We'll just run through it right now so you can get a handle on it. 1, 2, ready, play. C, D, E, F, G, back down. F, E, D, C, back up. D, E, F, and then G, 2, 3, 4. We have G, F, E, D, C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, and C, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so go ahead and pause this and just run through it a couple of times just so you can get a handle on it, and I'll see you in a minute. So how'd you do on that one? That one's pretty easy, right? Once you get a handle on where the left hand is, I don't think that one's any trouble at all. Again, use that one as a warm-up as well to get your head into the C position, which we're going to be in for several pages now. Let's go ahead and turn to page 24 and check out sailing. Now, the first blue box I want to look at on this page is the one all the way up to the right-hand side here called the dotted half note. Now, you've seen the half note a bunch of times. The half note is 2 counts long. It's just a note head that's hollowed out. There's nothing inside it. It's not colored in. And there's always a stem. Now, with a dotted half note, the only difference is there's going to be a dot next to it, to the right of it. You'll see in the right-hand part here that the stem that's going up for the right hand, that half note has a dot to the right of it. And if you look at the left hand, it's going to be the same thing. The dot is to the right of it, even though the stem is going down, still to the right of the note is that dot. And that means that it is 3 counts long. So now I'm going to put up here on the top of the page here all of the notes that we've learned. We've learned the quarter note. We've learned the half note. Now we have the dotted half note and the whole note. And the quarter note's 1 count. The half note's 2 counts. The dotted half note is 3 counts. And finally, we have the whole note, which is 4 counts long. Now, this piece of music is going to be your first adventure into other time signatures. So we've had 4/4. We were looking at it a little bit last week. It just meant that there were 4 counts in every measure. But now we have 3/4 time. That's the blue box up to the left right here. And what that means is there are 3 counts in every measure instead of 4, and the quarter note gets the beat. That just means that every single time the metronome ticks, or you tap your foot along with the music, or you clap along, each one of these is a quarter note long. So quarter note, 1, 1, just like that. Now you may be wondering, why do we have different time signatures? Why isn't everything 4/4 time? It makes things very even and very nice feeling. The thing is that if you change the time signature, it actually changes the feeling of a piece of music. Now with 4/4 time, it's kind of like a march. In fact, it's used a lot in marches because it's very even. You're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, or left, right, left, right. An actual marching band can march to 4/4 time really easily because it's left, right, left, right. They can think left for count 1, right for count 2, left for count 3, right for count 4. So they can just march down the street like that. But then when we get to 3/4 time, that's actually used in waltzes. There are other pieces that use 3/4 time, but that's the most popular one. Now, the waltz is a dance, and it's a style of music that has been around for centuries. It has a very swingy feel to it. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, kind of give a little emphasis on the 1, then you produce this really swingy feel that's a lot of fun to dance to and a lot of fun to play. Now, this particular piece has a great duet, so I definitely encourage you to try it at the end of the video. Let's go ahead and run through the note names and also the counts. This one's going to be a little bit different since we only have 3 counts in every measure. Now, in this piece, we're going to be counting to 3. So the very first note, we're going to say C, 2, 3. Also, I'm going to be counting 1, ready, play, 1, ready, play, 1 full measure, which is 3 counts long. That way we can really get into the feel of the music. 1, ready, play, C, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, D, E, F, G, 2, 3, left hand, G, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, F, E, D, and then C, 2, 3, right hand, C, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, D, E, F, and then G, 2, 3, left hand, G, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, F, E, D, C, 2, 3. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and try out sailing. Remember, there is a repeat sign on this one. I just ran it down one time, but go ahead and do that repeat sign as well on your run through of it. Just kind of get a feel for what it feels like to go through the whole entire piece. And I'll see you in a minute. Now I'll go ahead and put at the very end of the video here the play along for that. We're going to be doing this at 70 and then 100 beats per minute. And then also I'm going to put the duet as well. And I really encourage you to try to get to that point where you can play with the duet. It really sounds awesome. I think you'll have a really great time with it. Okay, let's go ahead and move ahead. Now, the last piece you're going to be doing this week is called skating. And skating is another 3/4 piece. It has that nice strong 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But there's going to be a lot more notes because it's mostly quarter notes in this piece. You'll notice we have 2 dotted half notes, one in the right hand at the very end of the first line, and then one in the left hand. We also have a repeat sign on this one as well. Just like with sailing, let's go ahead and run through this once without the repeat sign and make sure that we have all the note names right and then also the dotted half notes. Starting with the right hand, we're going to play mezzo forte. 1, ready, play, C, D, E, C, D, E, D, E, F, and then G, 2, 3. Left hand, G, F, E, G, F, E, F, E, D, C, 2, 3. And then we just started over again with the repeat sign. Okay, just like on sailing, go ahead and run through it one more time on your own and do the repeat sign even though we didn't do it during our playthrough. And I'll see you in a minute. All right, go ahead and grab that assignment pad and let's write down your assignment for this week. It's a little bit bigger than the last one. We're going to have the zoo on page 22. On this piece, it's going to be thumbs on middle C in middle C position. And I want you to play and say the letter names out loud. And this one, you're just going to try to do one time perfect all the way through with the repeat sign. This is a nice warm-up to get through all of the notes. And make sure you're looking down at the keyboard on occasion to see what each note is and where it is on the keyboard. Moving ahead to page 23, we have playing in a new position. And this piece is another warm-up that you're going to be doing. And this is just to get your head into what we call C position. And you're going to run through all of the letter names through this one. This one doesn't have a repeat sign. So you may want to play it more than just one time perfect if you feel like you need to. Now we're getting into sailing. And remember, this is a 3/4 time signature. So when you count yourself in, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, and then you start on the next count. Or you can say 1, ready, play, and then start. Make sure you count yourself in 3. This one, make sure that you're playing and saying the letter names and also the counts out loud in this one. Maybe even make note into your assignment pad, C, 2, 3. And I strongly encourage you to go through the entire piece and any dotted half notes that you see, write a -2 and a -3 after them, just to make sure that you remember to count those counts and not just run through the letter names. And then lastly, we have skating, and that's on page 25. And this one, I also want you to play and say the letter names out loud. Now, one last note here is that both sailing and skating use the same exact duet. You can see at the bottom of skating here, it says the duet part of sailing may be played with skating. So you're going to get a play along of me actually playing the notes that are on the page there for skating and then also sailing. But then you're also going to get just one duet from me at 70 and 100 beats per minute. And that duet can be played with either sailing or skating. I encourage you to try both out with those duets. They're a lot of fun. They sound really, really cool. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson today, and I'll see you next week. A quick word about where you should be practicing this week. Now, we have this new hand position, C position, that I'd like you to be in, where the right hand is 4 C's up from the bottom, left hand is 3 C's up from the bottom. However, my duet part, if you try out that duet part, is going to clash with your part because I'll be playing kind of the same notes that you are over top of your notes. Might sound a little bit strange. So what it says at the bottom of the page of skating is student plays 1 octave higher. And all that means 1 octave is 8 notes, just like octagon is 8 sides. And 8 is the magic number in piano. If you start on a C and count that as 1, let me show you here, 1, and just keep counting up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're now 1 octave away, or 8 notes from that C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And you put your right hand up an octave, and then the left hand will actually be on that middle C. That means you just moved up both hands 1 octave, and you're not going to clash with my part. Now, you can try it out in the normal hand position, and it'll sound just fine. But this sounds just a little bit better. It's a little bit higher up on the keyboard. Now, here's the thing. It's totally fine to move your hands up an octave for the duet parts when you finally get to the duet parts. But I do want you to practice these in the normal C position until you get to the point where you're like, okay, now I can try it with a duet, and then go ahead and move your hands up. I really want you to get used to the middle of the piano, really want you to get used to middle C and have that nice C position under your fingers this week. All right, let's go ahead and play it. 1, ready, play. C, 2, 3. C, 2, 3. D, E, F, G, 2, 3. Left hand. G, 2, 3. G, 2, 3. F, E, D, C, 2, 3. Repeat. C, 2, 3. C, 2, 3. D, E, F, G, 2, 3. Left hand. G, 2, 3. G, 2, 3. F, E, D, C, 2, 3. One, ready, play. One, ready, play. C, D, E, C, D, E, D, E, F, G, 2, 3. Left hand. G, F, E, G, F, E, F, E, D, C, 2, 3. Repeat. C, D, E, C, D, E, D, E, F, G, 2, 3. G, F, E, G, F, E, F, E, D, C, 2, 3. One, ready, play. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 3. One, ready, play. 2. Repeat. 1, 2, 3. 1, ready, play. And that concludes lesson 4 of the Teacher Chris Learn by Play piano series. I hope you enjoyed this one. This one, especially with the 3/4 time signature, I think is going to be a lot of fun for you this week. And I will see you next week. Good job today.